Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today in Pet Catchers, the brand new aquatic update part 2 has just released about an hour ago, and I got my hands on every single one of the brand new secrets. Yes, you heard that right, every single one, including the brand new 1 in 100 million super secret, the Lord Shock, as well as the 1 in 100k pets from both the hardcore bosses. So today I'm going to be showcasing every single one of them, including their damage, chances, and more. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty exciting video. If you guys haven't yet, please make sure to like and subscribe. It's completely free. Both that out of the way, let's get straight into the video. All right, everyone. So here we are inside of the brand new update, inside of the new aquatic update, because obviously it's very fitting. But as you guys can see here, there is a brand new rotation of secret pets. So to start off with, you have these 4 eels right here. As you guys can see, it is similar to the submarine where there is 4 variants. And as you guys can see, I have every single one inside of my index. So yeah, let me show you guys this. So if we search up eel, you guys will see that I have every single one of them right now. So this is what all 4 of them look like. You have the demonic eel, the royal eel, the sunken eel, as well as the electric eel. Now, none of these are actually maxed out, but this one does have max level shinied with all rune 5, and with that, it gave it 16,800 damage with 2,320 coin and 3,120 tokens. So if this pet was maxed out, I believe it would have around 21,000 damage, because Deadly 10 does add around 1.5x damage, and they all have the exact same stats, guys. And if you guys want to hatch one for yourself, the base odds is a whopping 1 in 3.5 million, which is pretty high, but again, that is without any luck boost at all. So first of all, you have the royal eel, which is kind of like a rich looking eel. As you guys can see, it has gems all around it and it shines. Next, you have the sunken eel, which in my opinion is the ugliest one. I don't know, something about this eel just looks a little bit goofy to me. The purple aura around it just makes it look a little bit like gross in my opinion, but that is the sunken eel. And next up, we have the demonic eel, which is a really cool looking one in my opinion. It has a little fire effect that you guys can see a little bit. I'm not sure why there's like 4 different things, especially since they don't really have any type of association, but it is pretty cool. I do like the little wings that it has around it. It makes it look pretty cool. And last but certainly not least, we have my favorite one, the electric eel. Now this one just looks pretty insane. I really like the electric effects around it. I know it's probably reused, but it's certainly really cool, and also has this kind of lightning effect going around it. And in my opinion, it's kind of like the most realistic eel in my opinion, just because it is obviously an electric eel. But those are all the eels, guys. These are all a 1 in 3.5 million base if you have the Egg Luck Game Pass. So these things are really good. Obviously 21k damage is not bad at all. But now that we've gone over that, let's move on to the next pet, which is the skull looking pet, the tier 2. Now I was live streaming the update and my friend let me use his account, and he had around 100 prismatic eggs, and I actually ended up hatching 2 of the tier 2 secrets, guys. This is what it's called. It is the Captain's Curse, and if we go ahead and check the elite mystery egg, you guys will see that it is a 1 in 5.5 million chance, and without Egg Game Pass, it would be around a 1 in 11 million base, if not higher. But this is what it looks like, guys. They are both untouched right now. Just look at the design. It's honestly really cool. It's a skull with the blade in its mouth, obviously, and it also has wings. This is one of the coolest pets in the game, in my opinion, and I really like the effects on it. At level 1, its stats are 2,350 damage, 670 coin, and 880 token, but we're going to go ahead and actually max it out for this video up to level 5, because I don't really have enough pendants to make it level 10. But yeah, let's go ahead and make this thing a shiny. I'm curious what color it's gonna be, so let's see. Okay, so this thing is actually gonna be purple once it's shiny, which is pretty interesting, I will say. I'm not gonna lie, I do kind of like the original more. So with Deadly 5, it does 9,400 damage, and there we go, guys. We just got this thing to level 25, and now it's doing 18,800 damage, and I believe at level 10 runes, this thing would have approximately 23,500 damage, which is obviously very good as well. But this is what it looks like compared to the regular one. It is a little bit smaller, and it does hover lower, which is, I'm not really sure about that. It might be bugged. Let me try to re-equip it. All right, so when I re-equipped it, it did fix. So yeah, this is what the shiny one looks like, and this is what the regular one looks like. Let me know, which one do you guys like better? Me personally, I kind of like the non-shiny version better. The purple, in my opinion, doesn't look as good as the red, but let's move on. All right, so next up, we have the tier 3 secret from this new place, and it is a 1 in 22 million chance, guys, base odds, and I do have a 2.27x lug multiplier, though I believe it's actually a 1 in 50 million chance to hatch without any multipliers of any kind. Shout out to everybody who donated a pet for this video. I will include me trading them back the pet in the end of the video. But this is the pet, guys. It is called the Deep Dark Guardian. Honestly, it's a little bit small in my opinion, but it does remind me a lot of the Immortal one, I'm not gonna lie. It has some pretty cool VFX around it, but there isn't really animation on it, which takes away some of the cool factor in my opinion. But at level 1, this thing has 3,000 damage, 900 coin, and 1100 token, and there are currently 29 that exist, which isn't bad at all. All right, but now that we've seen the base stats, let's go ahead and max this thing out. So first, we're obviously going to make it shiny. I assume it's like the immortal one. So let's see. Okay, so this thing actually turns red, which is really interesting. I didn't think it would actually do that. Okay, so at shiny, it has 6k damage, which isn't bad. Next, let's apply the deadly runes that we have, and now it has 1.5x. And then for this one again, I assume he wants crit and fatal, so that's what I'm going to use for right now, because it would be a waste to not be using this right now. So yeah, let's go ahead and apply this prismatic scroll, and now it has 12,000 damage at level 1. So now we can use the knowledge scrolls, and now this thing is max level, and it is doing 24,000 damage, 3,600 coins with 4,400 tokens. This pet is absolutely insane. If we had it with level 10 stats, I believe it would be doing 30,000-ish damage, which is pretty crazy. But as a shiny, again, it turns red, and the effect kind of turns into a fiery effect, which is really cool. Definitely one of the better pets this update. And last but not least, in the hatchable rotation pets, we have the one and only super secret, the Lord Shock. Now, before I go more into detail, this thing doesn't even appear in the egg. That's how rare this thing is. I believe base odds, it is a 1 in 100 million chance, which is just insane, which is even rarer than the robot. So let's go ahead and take a look at this thing. So this guy actually already had it maxed, and currently 18 exist, which is pretty high, but it's still going to be extremely rare. So it has 35,000 damage, 4,400 coin, and 5,800 token multiplier with deadly, fatal, and critical X. Now, when I tell you guys this secret is huge, I mean it is huge. Like, take a look at this thing. It is honestly probably the biggest pet in the game. I mean, just look at how huge this pet is. Like, it's even bigger than my submarine robot, which I thought was massive. Like, just look at this comparison. This thing is way bigger. But yeah, this is the super secret, the Lord Shock. It is here for 2 weeks, so it is going to be extremely rare, so I recommend you guys go for it right now. And this is what it looks like as a shiny. Non-shiny, it is red, but this thing is super cool. It's probably my favorite super secret, as well as secret pet in the game. I mean, just look at me. I'm blue, and this thing is blue. It just makes sense, you know? But yeah, this pet is extremely OP, 35,000 damage. I believe this thing actually ties the Leviathan for being the strongest pet in the game now, which is pretty insane. But yeah, those are all of the hatchable secret pets that are currently in rotation. But now let me show you guys the secret pet that you guys can actually get from the brand new game mode, the memory match. So as you guys know, there is a new game mode where you have to do a memory game, and there is a 1 in 10,000 secret pet that you guys can obtain. And lucky for me, I found another person who got it. Again, I found every single one. So this is what it looks like, guys. The Royal Pearl base stats. It has 4,000 damage, 1,080 coins with 1,520 token multiplier. 79 exist right now, which isn't bad at all. So let me show you guys what this pet looks like. So here it is, the Royal Pearl. It's like one of the other pearls, except it's obviously looking very rich, and it sits on like a throne, I guess. So it's really good. So let me go ahead and make this thing a shiny now for you guys. So let's apply the golden cherries that we have. All right, so this is what the shiny version looks like. It's all black, and now it emits a kind of dark glow. Honestly, I kind of like the non-shiny version better. However, this thing is really cool either way. Apparently he got it maxed. I didn't even realize that. Well, at level 25, and shiny has 8,000 damage. At level 1 without shiny, it would have around, I want to say, 2,000. So we're going to apply deadly, crit, and fatal to it. I'm not sure if these are the runes that he wants, but if he doesn't want them, he can always change them. But yeah, let's apply the prismatic scroll, and now this thing at full level 5 runes, it is going to be doing 16,000 damage with 2,100 coin and 3,000 token multiplier. Now this pet obviously isn't super strong, but it's still decently strong, especially for a pet that you guys earn through a mini game. I would have hoped that it would have been a little bit better for tokens, like the hyperwave kitty is for coins, but either way, it's really good. And before I show you guys the pets that you guys get from the hardcore bosses, I want to show you the Robux pet that you guys can get this update, which is the sea serpent. So this is what it looks like. Honestly, it's a pretty goofy looking pet. I don't exactly like the tail, but I did get the number 8 cereal, which is really good. And at base, it has 600 damage, 280 coins, and 300 token multiplier. So let me go ahead and max this thing out. All right, so level 25, it's going to be doing 1,200 damage. So now let's make this thing a shiny. And there we go. Now this thing is a shiny and is doing 2,400 damage. So now we can apply the rest of the runes that we're going to use on it, which is kind of a waste because obviously this pet is not good enough to actually be viable. But for the sake of this video, I guess I'll just max it out. All right, so after using the prismatic scroll, the maximum damage without level 10 runes is going to be 4,800 damage, 1,120 coin, and 1,200 token multiplier. Again, this pet isn't the best looking. I definitely would say it's one of the worst, if not the worst Roblox pet, but it is still a secret in the brand new Atlantis Part 2 update, so that's cool, and I guess we just had to show that off. But last up, guys, we we have the most hyped up pets of the update, the hardcore boss pets. So currently, you guys can fight the Mech Kraken and the Queen Slime, and they both actually have 2 drops. One of them is a 1 in 10,000 pet, and the other is a 1 in 100,000. Now, when I tell you guys that's insane, keep in mind that fighting these bosses is not only way more difficult than the other bosses, but getting hardcore tomes themselves are a lot more difficult to get than respawn tomes. And considering that you guys will only be able to get like a few drops every single time, and the health on these things scales exponentially, the chance to get one of these is absolutely insane. So first, let's go over the Mech Kraken. So the 1 in 10,000 pet is actually going to be called the Mecha Kraken. Currently, there's 31 existing, and I got the number 2 one. Well, for this video anyways, this is what the pet looks like. It's honestly really cool. It looks a lot better than the normal Kraken in my opinion. It's a Kraken, but it's fully plated and like metal armor, I would say, and it has this cool red effect that emanates around it. So yeah, it looks like a very solid pet. He also got the number 2 version, so congratulations to him. So let's go ahead and make this thing a shiny, guys. Again, it is a 1 in 10,000 from the brand new boss, and this is what the shiny looks like. That pet is absolutely crazy. Dude, I didn't expect it to look this good. Now the metal is like completely black, and the aura around it is orange. That is actually so sick. So right now, it has 4,200 damage at level 1 as a shiny, and we just maxed out its level, and it is now doing 8,400 damage. So let's apply the damage runes to it as well, and I guess we're going to use the crit runes. I'm kind of starting to run out, but it isn't really an issue. And then last up, we can apply the fatal runes that we've gotten, and now let's use the prismatic. And now the max stats for this Mecha Kraken are going to be 16,800 damage, 2,320 tokens, coin, and 3,120 tokens. Again, the damage would be higher. I believe it would be around 20,000 damage if I actually had it at level 10 runes, but unfortunately, if you look at my items, I don't really have any pendants. So yeah, this is the max Mecha Kraken, the 1 in 10,000 drop chance from the Mech Kraken. It's honestly really cool, probably one of my favorite pets from this next update. But when I tell you guys the next pet from this boss is insane, I mean it is absolutely insane. So currently, it is a 1 in 100,000 chance from the Mech Kraken, which is 10 times rarer than the Mech Kraken pet. We are talking about the Cthulhu. Now, currently only 7 exist in the game, which is very rare. In fact, that is almost that is more than 2 times less than the Lord Shah currently. However, it is a permanent pet, so it doesn't really matter much. But he did get it maxed out for us already. This is what the pet looks like. It is honestly really insane. I really like the design of it, as well as the pink aura that goes around it. Obviously, it is shiny, and when it isn't shiny, I believe it is a green pet. But this pet is absolutely insane. It has eyes around it as well. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the Null Void, but at max level with basically max stats. All he has to do is get deadly 10. It has 24,960 damage, 3,080 coin multiplier, and 3,800 token. So if he did get this all the way to deadly 10, then I believe it would have around 26,000 damage, which is really high. But yeah, this pet is absolutely crazy. He did get the number 3 version as well, so that is really cool. Moving on from the Mech Kraken, we have the Queen Slime, which is considered by many players to be either more easy or difficult to beat. I've seen debates for both, but this boss right here also drops 2 pets, one being a 1 in 10,000 chance, and the other is also a 1 in 100,000. So starting off the pets, we have the Queen Slime, guys. Only 12 of them exist actually at the time of recording, which is pretty rare, and this is the number 6 cereal. So this is what the pet looks like. It's basically just the King Slime, but as the Queen version. Honestly, I do like this thing a little bit more than the King Slime. I think it's a pretty good looking pet, and the detail on it is pretty good as well. At level 1 as a shiny, this thing is going to have 4,200 damage, 1,160 coin multiplier, and 1,560 token. But let's go ahead and make this thing maxed out right now. All right, so we just got to level 25, and it is now doing 8,400 damage. So now you guys already know the drill. We're gonna have to apply the runes to it. So now we just slap on that prismatic scroll, and at level 5 runes, this thing is going to have 16,800 damage, 2,320 coins, as well as 3,120 tokens. I believe it's actually the same as the mech. Okay, so I believe it is. Let me compare them side by side. Yeah, so they both actually do have the same exact stats, which makes sense because they are the exact same chance, which also applies to the Cthulhu and the next pet that I am about to show you guys. And this pet is even more crazy than the Cthulhu, guys. For reference, the Cthulhu pet currently has 7 existing, and this pet that I'm about to show you guys right now, as of the time of recording, currently only has 1 in the entire game. So here in the Queen Slime boss fight, there is this 1 in 100,000 butterfly type pet, and this is none other than the Venom Moth. Well, actually, 2 just existed. I guess 1 came out while I made this video, but this is what the Venom Moth looks like, guys. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this is probably probably my second favorite pet out of this entire update. I did get my hands on the #1 version for this video. So this is what it looks like, guys. It is a moth and it looks pretty bland on its own, but what really makes the pet special to me is the effects that go around it. The effects that are generated when the butterfly flaps its wings looks really cool in my opinion. Unfortunately for me, he did already max it out. So the stats on it are 26,000 damage, 3,080 coins, as well as 3,800 tokens. He does have Deadly X, so that is the complete maximum amount of damage on it. And it does have the exact same stats as the Cthulhu as well, as obviously they are both hardcore bosses. And these two pets, I can't exaggerate this enough, these two pets are literally so insanely difficult to get that less than 10 of each of them exist right now. So that is absolutely insane. But yeah, guys, that was every single secret that is inside of the brand new Atlantis Part 2 update. Now that we are done showing them off, it is time that we go ahead and return these pets to their owners. So let's go do that. Alright everybody, well it looks like about all the pets have been returned besides the tier 2s and the eels that my other friend has given me, but he isn't responding, so I'll be giving them to him later. But again, if you look at my trade logs, you guys can see that I have returned the majority of the pets that I was given for this video. So I mean, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys found it entertaining or useful at all, then please make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna leave this video off here. Again, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.